The following takes place between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m.
Here we are, quick brekkie before we shoot off to training. But in the meantime, Chris and I will be moving my stuff down to a lovely place down the road. As you can see,
I've been here 2 years in July, so going on nearly 20 months now. And I've had 2 Australians living with me for the past 4 or so months. Another one who left about a fortnight ago, and I've had Josh in here for about a fortnight, so it'd be good to get my place back to myself.
as you can see, it's a bit of slop. Doesn't have much going for him in the kitchen. But in saying that, he did a great pork roast the other night. Hats off to him. It's the best thing I've seen in 2 weeks. It began with a late signing of a contract that I missed out on in Australia, and luckily come to the rescue was Narbonne, and Justin Harrison had signed here from the Brumbies, who I played with last year, and he was taking over as head coach. Anthony Hill as president I knew, and Dave Gibson was a former Waratahs team manager that I knew, so I got in contact with those guys, and fortunately got an opportunity to come to Narbonne. So I've been around 10 years now in Super Rugby, so I've got a lot of experience in that side of things. Played a little bit of internationals. Most of our squad's reasonably young. I think average age will be around 23, 24, so that's still quite young. I'd like to bring a lot of knowledge to the game, everything I've brought over the years to the squad. A different background, different site, different view on rugby. This game in second division especially is completely different to what Super Rugby is, and if we can start speeding it up and getting the rucks and mauls a little bit quicker, I think the game will be a bit more entertaining. The dream of playing for Australia is still alive. If the opportunity comes to potentially get back to Sydney or anywhere in Australia, I'd definitely consider it. But for now, it's probably a bit early to look at that. For now, it's just me playing well for Narbonne, creating opportunities on the field, which will create opportunities off the field for contract time. It's certainly a different change for me, and something a lifestyle and a rugby lifestyle I'll have to get used to. No, unfortunately, these are my 4 wheels. No motor, no car key, easy to park. Get on it. He's still dirty about my new place. I'll rent him a room.
All right, mate. So see you later. See you later. I'll see you.
See you, mate.
See you tonight.
See you tonight, yeah?
Yeah.
See you, mate.
Oui. Oui.
Where we're going to is the Hospitalet, which is, I suppose, one of the most famous vineyards in Languedoc.
There's Gerard Bertrand. You know him, David, from he played in Narbonne for 10 years and he played in Stade Français.
You'll see some of the sculpture work out here. It's Jean-Pierre Rives' work.
All right, Dave, mate, I'm going to head off back into town and I'll be seeing Goog and the boys and I'll give you a call later.
See you later.
See you, mate. Ciao.
People say, why Narbonne? Well, from working in rugby clubs around the world, what's really struck me with Narbonne is from the mayor to the local butcher, they're all in on the game. It's the heart of the community. And for us, apart from, yes, it's a business venture, but it's also something we really are passionate about. So it's certainly long term, and people say, what's the end game? Well, we're not 100% sure just yet. We're enjoying it, and we really want to get Narbonne back to where they should be in top 14 and being a successful and sustainable club. One thing we're not going to do is we're Australians, but it doesn't mean we're going to turn this into an Australian club. I think the essence is, and our selection policy will be first local, because this is a good rugby pedigree area. It produces a lot of good rugby players. It has for over 100 years. And so our selection policy would be to look at local first, and then national French. And then if we have to go international, yeah, we'll fill some holes. So Josh Valentine was an example. We felt we needed that sort of impact at halfback, number 9. And Josh was in the right place at the right time. And we're very happy to have him on board just for now. We won't keep Josh long term. We don't expect to. Good players want to play at the top level. And until we get to top 14, we can't expect to, nor can we afford to, have players like that for a long term. The old boys network is very important to us. A mix of, some early adopters of our project, Gerard Bertrand, Gerard Sutra, the Spangeros. They've all been great people for the club in the past, and now they're on board with our project as well, which is very important to us. And they've been great for French rugby, not just Narbonne. So we talk about learning off a lot of people, and yeah, we've got some ways that we think it should run, but we've got to adapt to both the French culture and the community of Narbonne, and so those people are instrumental in helping us with that.
We'll just go down to the markets for lunch and visit Gilles, one of the local ex-Narbonne players, and before that we'll just tuck over the hill and show you a bit of local scenery. So here we are, a little spot looking over down here to Grissom, Narbonne Plage. Just down there, 70 k's is Spain. Just up here is Montpellier. I'll take you blokes back into the markets. Let's go, Dave. Well, it's funny because it actually come full circle for me. It was Bob Dwyer that helped me come over to France in 1996, and then again it was Bob that actually is involved as the chairman of FGM, and he made the first contact with me to find a French rugby club or a project in Europe of getting a European rugby club that was sort of in this situation, trying to take it back to the top, and it just worked out perfect for me that I was still in Narbonne, and the timing with the lack of sporting results and the financial problems. So it was really just turned out perfectly. The project's the same for all the guys involved, including the Narbonne people or the FGM group. It's just to get a bit of stability going for the next 12 to 18 months, financially and sports-wise. We've recruited a few Australian guys, which you've been following around today, which have really helped the cause. As we were really lacking, especially with Josh Valentine, we're really lacking in the halfback position. So the goal at the moment is the stability, and then move on to try to get a real chance of getting back to the top 14 and turning it into a sporting business and not just a regular rugby club. Clap back in. We are in Narbonne Markets. It's about 110 years old, about the same age as the rugby club, and I'm sure we'll catch up with a few of the boys in here, even if nothing's been organised. Gina. This is the famous Gilles Belzon. My best mate has been in Narbonne for the last 15 years. Doesn't speak a cracker of English, but I'll just give him a say good day anyway. Dire bonjour.
Bonjour, la télévision australienne. C'est le bisou quand même, c'est le bisou le plus important. Il fait encore du rosé pour faire les salles.
Eh oui. As you can see, the boys have headed off for the weight session. I'll just give Jill another man kiss goodbye, and we'll head back over to join them. Gina, mon dernier bisou parce que c'est.
Ciao, Tony.
Ciao.
On s'appelle pour boire une fois, on joue un peu là?
Oui, mais c'est l'après-midi, tu m'appelles. Oui, d'accord. Allez. Ça roule. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, I've just finished a gym session where I can't say I set any records, but I'm off into town now. One of the famous parts about Narbonne is the food markets that my wife and my family enjoy. So we're going to go down there and get some food, limit the shopping and get some coffees into me. Bonjour, ça va? Jackie. This is my son Jack, who looks like he's having a beer, and my wife Bronwyn. Hi, bud. Ha! Nice and food. Yeah, and you. The whole idea of coming to France was for us to start our young family in Europe, but also to give ourselves an exposure to some great culture and a place that's got a passion for living life as well as enjoying sport. So we think we found a pretty good marriage of every interest, and we're certainly enjoying it as much as we can. Salut, ça va? So here we are home. We're renting a place here at the moment and enjoying it. Just bearing to put up with it. Life in a chateau in the south of France is tough. I'll just collect my little bundle of joy and we'll go in. Or Bronwyn will. Hey, come on. Yeah, home again. Whenever anyone mentions the south of France in anything that's tangible, you don't really need an excuse to say yes to it. You know, Narbonne in Pro Division 2 is a huge challenge for us, but one that's exciting. You know, we want immediate results, but we also understand that for us to see the fruits of our plan, it will take a couple of years for us to get back up to top 14. The important thing is that there needs to be a healthy element of trust and not so much, well, I suppose loyalty as well, but trust is paramount and transparency in decision making. Too many times I've heard about coaching and witnessed coaching backroom deals and the politics of it coming through, and certainly in France it's prevalent as well. It's an unfortunate consideration when you're thinking about embarking on a coaching career, where I feel that if at any time my moral compass is threatened or my integrity is going to be compromised, then it won't be the right environment for me. And up until now, things have been great. So I'll continue on, and the day I depart it will be through my choice. We had a number of injuries, we had a number of considerations that we tried to recruit, but a combination of finances and timing meant that I was able to pull myself out of the cheese station at the markets in Narbonne and get into some training. Now physically it's been difficult, but mentally I'm certainly enjoying the challenge. My wife Bronwyn's fantastic. She was just as supportive as she's ever been. She said, if it's something you want to do and you believe you can do it, but do it well and do it as well as you can for 100% of the time. Don't do it half-assed. So for me, you know, to have the support of her, and who knows, my little man Jack may remember watching his father playing rugby still. So, but that's a huge motivation for me to have them be proud of what I'm doing, and also for the Narbonne greater public to understand that this is not something that I'm doing as a stepping stone or something as a ladder climber. I'm here and committed to the region. We're renting at the moment. We've purchased a house in a small village outside Narbonne, and we're looking to plant ourselves in France for a long time. Oh, Hilary! The president.
I'll take him back into town and catch up later tonight at the Millie Miller.
It's good.
See you, bro.
See you, mate.
Yep.
Bye.
So here we are arriving into Narbonne, centre of town. Just on the other side we'll have the square. We're going to walk through this cathedral which they started building in 1272. So just down this little walkway is the Narbonne Centre. Lots of coffee shops, just gives out to the front of the cathedral. So here we are in the Narbonne Centre Square. It's a pity we missed the sun today. It's beautiful normally just coming over the top of the cathedral. Come down here and I'll show you the route to the Domoviccia, which started in Rome 2,000 years ago and took Narbonne straight to Rome. It was the capital outside of the Roman Empire. Have a look. Just before we head out of the centre of Narbonne, just wanted to show you this fountain. When I first arrived, I actually saw wine coming to this fountain on the wine festival. Every August, 5th of August, they have this just pouring out with wine, giving out free wine to all the punters. So here we are, just across the bridge, we'll walk over to the Wallaby, and I'm sure we'll hook up with a couple of the Aussie boys again who will be sniffing around having a coke. Hey, kom hier daar. Thank you. Thanks, Sherry. Chiara. Nou, zal ik je kissen? Ça va? Je suis là. Chiara, my little girl, and Zion, my young bloke. I thought we'd find a few players. I didn't realise I have the whole family here, so. See you later. I'm tired, mate. Let's head over and meet the boys in the back streets of Narbonne. A nice little restaurant, I'm sure you're going to all love it. Ciao. Ciao, ragazzi. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Bon appétit, everyone. Stew? Give the boys a good night. Thanks for waiting for me, boys.